can the U.S. maintain an image of the land of opportunity as it has for decades, while still expanding the deportation risks for legal migrants and revoking visas from a lot of different categories like student visas we've seen in the last few months?
I think the United States, not anymore the land of opportunities and dreams, and because yes, United States is a nation of immigrants. It is built and founded by immigrants from Europe, Africa, Asia. But I think it is now maybe long ago in history it was rich, etc. And I think some movies, even in Egypt and in our Arab countries, covered that ideas and deal with such dreams to young people. But I doubt that it is not anymore the land of dreams and opportunities. As Peter mentioned, now the economic situation in the United States is very hard. It is overburdened by debt, by I think the social even services and accommodation introduced to the citizens. I think it is not that much enough. We heard from time to time calling about education system, about healthcare, etc. So I think that the space and opportunities in the United States is not anymore like even two past decades. So I think people recognize that, but still, because of the situation may be harder in other countries that push more and more people to go to the United States, because the all and all economic international economic system is suffering, and the growth and global growth is facing some challenges. But from my point of view, the United States is not like even 10 years ago. That image changed a lot, and young people even started to recognize that. Even in our academic area, not anymore United States is attractive subject to study and to elaborate your thesis, PhD or MA or something like that. Now a growing interest going to Asia, to China, to India, and this is very obvious.
Okay, Peter, if you could give us your take here on what Dr. Nourhan just said, do you agree with the idea that, the United States at this point in time is not necessarily something that the rest of the world may see as a land of opportunity in fears for economic loss, for instance, or being deported even?
Only if they read the New York, only if potential immigrants read the New York Times before they come here. I think America is still the land where the streets are paved with gold. It's the shining city on a hill. Hope, growth, and opportunity could be our national motto if it weren't in God we trust. Uh, I People are still trying to get in. That's the best evidence. People vote with their feet, and they are still trying to get in. We're saying that the process has to be orderly. Look, I think that there are tremendous problems with the American immigration system. We should have been set up to take as many people from Hong Kong as possible when the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, cracked down on the one country, two systems promise that they made. We took in many people from Venezuela under Chavez. We should be continuing to take in political refugees, legitimate political refugees from Venezuela. But you can't just show up here and expect to get in. The other problem, and frankly, the people who object to this most, and why, if you look at the exit polls, Donald Trump ran so well among Hispanic American voters, is that the people who did follow the rules, who did pay the fees, fill out the forms, wait their turn to get that letter that says, "Welcome to America, future American," and they moved into the United States, are the ones who resented the out of control immigration situation under Biden the most, because number one, people were cutting the line. Number two, they were bringing crime and illness into communities. Donald Trump is taking steps through his tough policy, and I will admit it is a tough policy, to help turn that back around so that we can welcome into the United States the people who want to be here, who we want to be here.
Okay, Dr. Nourhan, now can we talk a bit about how might Muslim majority nations view the revival of the registry system? Do you think that this, is reminiscent of post 9/11 policies, and are there fears among the Muslim community in the US that they may be targeted?
I think it would affect the American cohesion and American solidarity. And I think there is a real division in the American society right now between those who support Trump in his procedures and convinced by his own point of view. Because I think Trump himself also recognized that United States is not that before or a century or decades before. Otherwise, why he raised the slogan, make America great again, if he didn't realize that America is not that great as it was. And other people who have relatives, families, by a way or another, they wanted to reunite, or they trying to encourage more and more from their ethnicity, particularly Latin Americans or so, Mexicans maybe. And I think that division, so those are against Trump, and they are maybe demonstrate or something like that from time to time against his policies. But I think also not only those from Latin America, it touched a wide range of communities, among them Muslim communities. You know that United States, I think it has some 3.5 million Muslims, and those restrictions maybe will be hard more and more toward Muslims and for those from Middle East, particularly because of that Islamophobia within the American society, within Europe, since 9/11s and Daesh, ISIS, I mean, and all subsequent development. So I think it would affect the coherence of the United States, and it would have some long-term consequences unless Trump, by way or another, make some miracle concerning economy and calm many of what the Americans now calling for in their social lives.